Hi, you're welcome to Photographics Academy. Before we start, please make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be getting amazing content whenever we upload new videos. Okay, so today we are going to be learning an amazing trick of how to create this wonderful stretch you are looking at right now. Very simple in Photoshop. We'll start from selecting of the image, separating it from the background, generating your own background, placing it on the background, still realistic shadow, and that is it. Amazing content that is about to come your way. Okay, so we are going to bring our image straight into Photoshop. You'll be needing a later version of Photoshop to be able to use some features we are going to be using in this video. So I'm going to be using our quick selection tool. Go to select subject, wait for it. Okay, so Photoshop is done. You go around your selection and make sure it's perfect. If it's not good, you have to modify. You have to modify your selection. Press shift to add, press alternate to minus. Press shift to add, excuse me. Okay, so you can press your shift to add to your selection. I want to minus from here, hold alternate, a minus icon will appear. I'm using my lasso tool. Like this. Look at this one right here. Look at the hand. We'll just get it out. Just a little. Beautiful. Nice. Just take it out. So the ones that are big, something like here, I'll just use my quick selection tool and add it. Like this Photoshop will do the matching. Just add it. Alright, like here, I'll add with quick selection tool. Like this. Go around, look at this place. It like this. Okay, to go to the feet, sometimes look, just minus it. I'm doing the minusing holding my alternate key. If I want to add, I'm going to hold my shift and it will add to the selection. If I want to minus, I'll hold my alternate and it will minus from the selection. Just go around to make sure you have a good selection. Take your time, get it right at this first stage. It's going to affect your end result. You don't get it right here. Of course, you can always modify your mask later. You can add and remove later. Let's just get it done from the beginning. Nice. Look at the finger there. It's very little at this part. Okay, so sorry, I have a little. Correct over here like this, allow it. Okay, so nice. At this part, think that is a finger. Wait, the yellow color is spilling into his skin. It's okay, fix that. Alright, so look at the hand over here. Let me use the lasso tool for this one since it's a very tiny edge. Photoshop may not be able to do it the way we want it. So let me just manually take care of that. Nice one. Here too. Nice. Okay, so when you are done going around your image and making sure your selection is as good as you want it to be, I need you to do one more thing, because we are going to be changing this image background entirely. And if you change it background entirely, it's going to add what we call halos. It's going to add some halos at the edge, especially being that it's a very bright and saturated background. It's going to spill on the skin. So when you place it on a different background, it's going to cause issue. So what do? This one is a quick tip trick. I use it all the time, especially when I don't have the time to use my pen tool to do the selection. I go to my select, modify, I go to expand. I expand it by 2. What it does is that it takes the selection just into the skin a little. Let me go back so you see what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to open my history. All right, so this is it before expand. Look at the edge of my selection. Look at the edge of the selection. It pushes it into the skin a little. You can do 1, you can do 2. Me, I prefer using 2 so that I won't be having to deal with halos. So having done that, and feather it by 2. Just feather it by 2. Feather it by 2. Then click on your layer mask. Click on your main layer mask. So the reason it's clearing our image instead of the background is because we are selecting the background. So what you are going to just press Control I, the selection will invert. The selection will invert. Let's take care of this yellow spill on his shoe. So go to your adjustment layer right here, click on hue and saturation, take your hand tool. This is not must, you must do it, just that mine is spilling on my shoe. So I just click on the shoe and reduce the saturation until it gets to a uniform color. Yes, that is it. We'll have it there. If you think it's not quite enough, you can increase it a little, and that is it. So if there's any other part of the image that has yellow spill on it, just by clicking it right here, it's going to deal with it every other part of the image. So this is what we'll have. You can right click here and say match down. So it's matched into our image, still having our mask activated. Look at it there. All right, so what we are going to do now is that we're going to create a new document so that we can place our image right there. How do we do that? Go to File, go to New, do 4x4. Me, I'm using 4x4. You can do 4x4. You can choose any size. Make sure you are in inches, 4x4 in inches, so that your res doesn't get too low. Let's use 500 resolution. Don't take it too high. It's going to affect your speed, the speed of your system. If you have a very high system, no problem. So go to create. It's going to create a document. So let's create a gradient effect over it. Inverse. Go to linear, select radial, so that we can want to use blue. So just click on this area, select blue, something around here. Wait, it's too much. Okay, I like this. Then bring it closer towards the middle. I think I'm still seeing a warm color here. Let's make it pure white. Now it's beautiful. Okay, so just make it smaller. Go to your scale. I want to make the white just a little. All right, there is okay. So this is the background we are going to be placing our image on. So what do we do? Go into your image document with your move tool. Just carry it like that. Come into this place, drop it here. Nice. So your image is here. Before you start doing anything on your image, right click on the image layer, convert to smart object, so that you don't lose your pixel when you squeeze the image or when you scale it into the size of the background. So holding your alternate key, click on the edge right here and drag it in like this. So when you drag in holding your alternate key, it allows the image to scale. But if you don't hold your alternate key, you're just making it smaller. But the alternate key will allow it to scale into the background. Yes, like this. Okay, so we've placed our image perfectly. I think I like it there. If we'll do any adjustment, that will be later. Now, let's start with the stretch effect. So having selected our image, we are going to go to the different parts of the image and pick colors and stretch. That is the first step. Go to different parts of the image, pick colors and stretch. So I want to select around his shoe right here, just a little like this. Control J, Control T, hold your shift, drag it out, give it a little space down here. Now as you are dragging it, just return it and make sure, move it to the edge of your canvas. Don't send it out, just at the edge right here. Immediately the pink line appears, stop. Then stretch it out again from the bottom. Give it a little space out like this. The reason we are doing it like this is because we want everything we are going to be selecting to be the same length. So I think this is a quick way for me to monitor the length very easily. So just determine the length using this one. Let's stretch it out a little. Okay, so you say okay, go back to your image layer, select another part using your marquee tool. Let's take somewhere from the trouser. So we'll have that white color in the stretch. Okay, so press Ctrl J again, Ctrl J, Ctrl T, then stretch it out again using your shift. Stretch it out, drag it back. Immediately you see the pink line at the edge right here. Stop. That means it's in the same line with the one under. Hold your shift and drag it out. When immediately you see the pink line appear again, stop. It means it's at the same line. So both of them are of the same length now. Go back to your image layer, select another part of the image using your marquee tool. Let's take a bit of his clothes right here. Ctrl J, bring it out. Ctrl T, your anchor points appear, drag it out, take it like this, send it back, make sure it's in the same line. Once it snaps in, hold on, we are getting some blue. Excuse me, think we made a little mistake. Control T, stretch it out. Okay, so bring it in right here. We are having a little space behind. Let's just add it up. Hold on, let's just go back. Think we made a mistake in our selection. Control Z to go back. Let's select again. Select it like this. Beautiful, like this. Control J, Control T. Drag it out like this. Send it to the edge again. Let me just manually move it in until my red gets to the edge. You are going to see the reason why I'm intentionally making sure they are of the same length when we make it look stretched. Immediately we stretch the pixels, you are going to understand why I'm insisting on making it be at the same line. You know what? Let's let that be. If it's a mistake, we will see it at the end of the day. All right, so let's correct it from the edge right here. Make sure it's in the same line. Okay, so we are getting it in the same line. Look at the pink line is appearing, and the pink line is appearing here as well. Hold on, look at it. So we'll do one more selection. As much as you can select, please select, because how fine your stretch is going to look determines is the colors you add in your own selection. So just take your time and select it. Let me add a little white and red over here. I want to get a bit of his skin tone as well. A bit of his skin tone, having a little white. Okay, so I think this is fine. Press Ctrl J. Staying on your image layer, Ctrl J, Ctrl T. So we'll just use this 5, stretch it out, bring it back, make sure it's getting to the edge, stretch it out. Once you see the pink line, stop, press OK. So the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to pull the whole colors together. So take your move tool, go to the first one, drag it up, take it up like this, make it. Just be using the pink line that is appearing as a guide. The pink line shows that it has touched the other canvas. Let's bring all of them together. Take this one up, make sure it's touching. Select this one, it's touching already. Okay, so it's remaining, we need to pull these two up to go and meet this one. So what we are going to do is just to select the two of them at once. Hold your control, select the two of them, then drag both of them at the same time. Nice. So it's touching now. So select all your layer, go to the first layer, hold your shift key, go to the 5th layer here. I'm having 5 layers. Just directly above your object layer, click on it. It's going to select all. Either you press Ctrl E to match the layers, or you right click and say match layers. Look at it. So our layers are matched together. You can decide to make it big now, you can decide to make it small, but let's leave it where we've already left it. Let's make it a bit longer so that our stretch will look very, very good. Okay, so I think I like it here. Press OK. The next thing you are going to do, this is optional. You can close the eyes of every other thing here so that you can be looking at just your colors. Go to filter. This is very important. Go to filter, go to distort, go to polar coordinates. So I need you to zoom out so you can be seeing what it's doing. Look at that circle. Beautiful. Look at it right there. Look at that circle right there. Press OK. Press OK. So you are going to get this round shape. You can decide to make it bigger. You can decide to make it small. Let's just make it to give us a perfect shape. I think this is okay. Press OK. Now we want to make sure it doesn't have hole in the middle. So what is the first way you can do? Is just duplicate it. Ctrl J, excuse me. Press Ctrl J to duplicate the layer. Use your move tool. Your anchor point will appear, or you can press Ctrl T. Then make it smaller from the edge. Make it smaller like this. Drag it in. Make it smaller. Until it fills that middle line. Make it smaller like this. Beautiful. Make it smaller. Nice. Okay. So if you think you still want it closed, press duplicate the small one again. Ctrl J. Make it look even smaller until you've entirely filled your hole like this. I think we can leave it like this. Our image will cover this part. Press OK. So this is it. Let's merge it together. Hold your shift, click on the first layer up, right click and say merge layers. Going to match all of them into a single layer right there. So open your image, open your background, open your initial background. Make sure that your image layer is at the top so that you can be able to see the effect. Look at it, amazing. So at this point, we are going to scale it in to fit the size of our image. So I'm using his shoe as the point, as the base. Look at that line appearing below as the base. So hold your alternate to scale it in from the top. Place your anchor point on the shoe right here. Hold your alternate to scale it in. Scale it in. Immediately it gets to the edge of his cap. Stop. Look at that. Just stop at the edge of his cap. Yes, nice. Stop at the edge of his cap. Press OK. Press OK. If you think you are not satisfied with this, you can just scale it to your own satisfaction. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. For me, I'm going to keep it at the edge of his cap. Press OK. So I want this stretch appearing just behind him. Let me rotate it so I can hide that line, that joining line. Yes, nice. So I want this stretch appearing just at the back side of this image without affecting the front side. That's the style I want to go for. So the fast way to do it, you can use your mask. You can use your mask. Take your brush. Make sure you're using a black brush and start manually painting it out. If possible, use a hard brush. But it's going to affect the overall result because when you start getting to the edge, it will need a certain level of tracing. Oh, this is nice already. You will need to perfectly do it, and I think it takes time like this. I think it takes time. Let me paint this back in. Yes, like this. I think it's fine this way, but let me give you the style I want to use. So let me go back. Let me go back. Okay, so this is the image. Let me take away the mask. Nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the selection of our image. Press Ctrl to load selection. The selection is loaded. Take your marquee tool. Take your polygonal lasso tool, right click on it, press select inverse. So we are selecting the background right now, which is where our circle is or our stretch is. Hold your alternate, click at the edge right here, then drag it to the point you want it to start. This gives you a precise cut. So I want to start at the edge of his cap, just where the thing is coming in. I want to start here like this. So click there. You can leave your alternate at this point. Select half of the image. Look at the tip of the shoe from here. Let's use this one, the tip of the shoe right here. Take it out of the background. Now it does automatically minus the selection. Press backspace to take it away. If it's selecting the front, it means we are selecting the wrong one. So press right click on your image, select inverse, then take away the press backspace and it's gone. 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 Just like that. Stretch effect is almost done. Just that we are going to be adding little realistic effect. Look at the edge. I think I need to clean here out. Let's just use our mask and fix that area. Click on your mask, take your brush, make sure your black is selected and clean on it. Sorry. And then close down. Take your brush, make sure your black is selected. I'm going to be using a soft brush. Okay, so clean it out at the edge where you want it to start. Look at it. I want it here. I'm done. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be dropping a realistic shadow from his body to this stretch. So click on your image layer up here, go to FX and click on drop shadow. Click on drop shadow. You can manually use your move tool to make a good select where you want it to be. Let me just press Ctrl Z, go back a little. Okay, so I want it a little soft. Let me change the blend mode to soft light. So you can get something soft. Yes, nice. So you can get something soft. Go to the size, increase it a little. Look at the spread, then make the distance to go back. I think our spread is too much. Just take your time and make sure you get what looks appealing to you. At this point, it's up to you to select what you want. Blend mode. I need something soft. Let me just manually look for it. Use your arrow keys to be going through your blend mode. Select something that will look good for you. I need something soft. Okay, I think I like this. Make it a little smaller. Yes. Reduce it by reducing the opacity. Bring the spread in a little more. Okay, so this is the distance. I think I'm satisfied with what I have. Press OK. So you can click on this eye icon here to see the before and after the shadow. Before the shadow, after the shadow, before the shadow, after the shadow. So the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be dropping a realistic shadow right under this stretch to make it have an elevation effect, to make it look like he's jumping and give the image a base. So just click on your background here, click on your gradient background here, create a new layer on top of it, in between your gradient and your stretch, create a new layer, pick your brush, go to the brush settings here. From this point right here, make it tiny to give it a tiny effect. Of course, you can do this using your Ctrl T, but let's just make it tiny here. Then select a soft round brush, make it bigger a little, then paint black paint. You can press D to reset your color, your brush color right here. So I'm selecting black, just paint it in like this. No, this is not good. Let's use a hard brush. Paint it in. It's not giving me what I want. Let's go back in. I think our setting was quite wrong. All right, so here, make it tiny like this. This is the angle. I want it to look like it's a plane, not just a circle brush. I want to make it look like a plane. So press OK. Press OK. Yes, that is what I wanted. Look at it right there. So it gives it a ground effect. Look at it. So use your brush, black brush, paint just one down like that. It's okay. You can reduce the opacity later. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to blur out the edges of my brush. Use your Gaussian blur. Blur out the edges of that painting just a little. I think I like it at this level. You can change it to soft light. Nice. So use your move tool to give it that elevation effect. At this point, it's looking like it's just the ground. So by taking it down, we'll give it a distance from your image. Look at that. Now it's looking like he's jumping. He just jumped from that ground. Let's make it smaller. Press Ctrl T. Right click and go to distort. Let's make it smaller like this. Just make it a very tiny line like that. Beautiful. Press OK. Then bring it a bit closer to him. Nice. You can reduce the opacity to make it a little faint. Let's remove our move tool. Nice. Okay, so look at it. Just make it a little faint like that. If you think you don't like the angle of the brush, you can still use your Ctrl T to just touch the angle a little. I think it's bending. All right, press OK. Nice. This is it. So this is before the shadow. This is after the shadow. This is before the shadow. This is after the shadow. This is your very simple way of creating stretch effects in Photoshop. Download as much image as possible. Do a lot of motion. Use it to create stretch, to explore the beauty of stretch. Thank you for watching. Please click on like and subscribe to always see our new videos whenever we upload. Thank you.